Right. So we've got interviews with Denise Richards and Lisa Rinna about leaving and maybe even coming back to RHOBH.
Interesting.
We'll also look into Jax Taylor's response to Brittany Cartwright about what exactly happened with his rehab stint.
Ooh, that should be juicy.
Oh, yeah. And we've also got some reports about Garcelle Beauvais and Sutton Strack supposedly having a falling out.
Oh, no, I love their friendship.
I know, me too. And then we can't forget Teresa Giudice talking about her husband, Luis Ruelas, and what she thinks about being on RHONJ.
Sounds like we've got a pack deep dive today.
We really do. And our mission is to sort through all this news and figure out what's really going on.
Great, cut through the noise.
Exactly. Get to the core of what's happening between these women and what it all means for the world of reality TV.
I'm ready. Let's do it.
All right, so let's start in Beverly Hills. And the big news is that Denise Richards might be coming back.
Wait, really? I thought she was done with the show.
It did seem that way, right? But she was on Heather Dubrow's podcast and said she would actually consider returning to RHOBH.
Wow. So what changed?
Well, she's still friendly with a lot of the current cast, and it sounds like she's in a different place now.
That makes sense because a big reason she left was that huge fight with Lisa Rinna back in season 10.
Oh, totally. You could tell that really affected her.
Yeah, I mean, she talked about how hard it was because they were friends for over 20 years.
And to have that friendship just explode on camera.
Ooh, yeah, and it all stemmed from those rumors about her and Brandi Glanville.
Which Denise has always denied.
Right. But it was enough to cause this massive rift between her and Lisa.
And then, of course, there was that really intense reunion.
Oh, yeah, the season 10 one.
Denise said she felt very alone and like nobody had her back except for Garcelle.
And a little bit Sutton, but they weren't that close yet.
Exactly. And she even said she felt like the other women just didn't like her.
Wow, that must have been so tough.
Totally. And she even confirmed in another interview that she and Lisa haven't reconciled.
Oh, so no chance they'll be best friends again.
Well, she said it's not happening anytime soon, but she also said to never say never.
That's definitely leaving the door open a crack.
It is. And she said she wouldn't want to work through all that on podcast anyway.
Probably a good idea.
So even if they do make up, it won't be for the cameras.
Interesting.
But yeah, she basically said that after that whole ordeal, she just didn't feel like she had enough allies on the show.
Yeah, besides Garcelle.
Right. And so going into season 11, she just felt too isolated and decided to leave.
And speaking of Garcelle...
Yes, what about her?
Denise actually talked about Garcelle's departure, too.
Oh, right. They're good friends.
They are. And Denise said she was really surprised by Garcelle's decision.
I mean, it did seem kind of sudden.
Yeah, but they apparently texted about it, and Denise said she's happy for Garcelle if that's what she wants.
That's good to hear.
It is. And Denise also mentioned how much time and energy goes into filming RHOBH.
That's true. They're always doing something.
Exactly. So she understands why Garcelle might want to step back and focus on other things.
Makes sense. So we've heard Denise's side of things, but what about Lisa Rinna?
Well, she finally revealed why she really left the show.
Oh, yeah. This was back in September 2022, right?
Yep. And on a recent podcast, she blamed the fans.
The fans?
She said that all the negativity from the mean fans on social media just became too much.
Oh, wow. So she felt like the fans were attacking her.
Yeah. She said they completely villainized her.
And that's why she left.
She said it made her experience on the show unbearable. So, yeah, basically she's saying the fans are the reason.
It's pretty interesting that she's putting it all on the fans.
Right. I mean, sure, fans can be really harsh sometimes.
Oh, definitely, especially on social media.
But it is a little strange that she's not taking any responsibility.
Yeah, I mean, some of the criticism probably came from things she did or said on the show.
True, but she seems pretty convinced it was just the fans.
Okay, well, we also have to remember that her mom passed away around the same time.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So that must have been incredibly difficult on top of everything else.
Definitely losing a parent is never easy, and to have that happen while also being in the public eye.
Yeah, that must have added a whole other layer of stress and grief.
Absolutely. And just to add one more little tidbit about Lisa Rinna.
Okay, what's that?
She mentioned that she and Lisa Vanderpump sometimes go to the same sushi restaurant.
Oh, really? Do they talk?
Nope. She said they completely ignore each other.
Wow. So there's definitely still bad blood there.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay, well, let's move on to a friendship that's apparently gone sour. Garcelle and Sutton.
Oh, I know. This is so sad.
It really is. So apparently they had a huge fight after the season 14 reunion taping.
Wait, what happened?
Well, Garcelle was really pushing Kyle Richards to be more open about her relationship with Morgan Wade.
Oh, yeah, there have been all those rumors.
Exactly. And Garcelle thought Sutton would support her.
But she didn't.
Apparently not. And Garcelle felt totally blindsided.
Wow, I bet that hurt.
Oh yeah, people are saying she stormed off the set and even refused to take the cast photo.
Oh no, that's a bad sign.
It is, and reportedly they're still not speaking.
While Sutton and Kyle are still close.
Yep, so it looks like there's been a major friendship shift.
It's kind of a classic Real Housewives pattern.
It really is. And you know what's interesting?
What?
Remember on the season 14 finale, Garcelle was the one who brought up the Kyle and Morgan rumors.
Oh yeah, so it's not like it came out of nowhere.
Exactly. So she probably thought she had Sutton's support going into the reunion.
And then when Sutton didn't back her up, that's probably why she was so upset.
That makes a lot of sense.
And then there's that whole thing with Sutton's Instagram post.
Oh, right after Garcelle announced she was leaving.
Yeah, Sutton posted a picture of them together and called them friends forever.
I saw that, but Garcelle didn't even like the post.
Exactly. Which definitely adds to the whole they're not talking theory.
And now we have the reunion coming up.
Ooh, that's gonna be good.
I know, right? I can't wait to see how this all plays out.
Me neither. But as for why Garcelle officially left,
Yeah, she had her reasons.
she said she wants to focus on her family.
Her sons are in their last year of high school, and her son Jade just started a new career.
Right, so it sounds like she's got a lot going on.
Plus, she has her own project she's working on.
It makes sense that she'd want to step back from the show.
Totally. Okay, let's shift gears now and go to the Valley.
Ooh, what's happening there?
Well, Jax Taylor is firing back at Brittany Cartwright and Kristen Dowd.
What about?
They've been talking about what happened leading up to his rehab stint.
Right, for alcohol and cocaine?
Yep, and Jax is now sharing his side of the story.
Ooh, this is going to be good.
He says that Brittany and Kristen's version of events has holes in it. Well, he thinks she doesn't have the full picture because they're separated.
Ah, so he's saying she only knows part of what happened.
Exactly. And Jax claims he hasn't been angry or even raised his voice since leaving rehab.
Really? Not even once.
That's what he says. He also called out Kristen for getting involved,
Slaying.
that they haven't even spoken since they finished filming.
So he's basically trying to discredit them.
Yeah, he's definitely trying to control the narrative.
Classic Jax.
So Jax says that the whole thing started when Brittany asked him to go with her to a doctor's appointment
Why?
because she thought he was hungover.
Oh, okay.
But then he saw a text from another man on her phone.
And that's when he lost it.
Well, he admits he wasn't calm, but he says he was in the middle of a bender.
Which I guess is his way of justifying it.
It seems that way.
Yeah.
But he did say he regretted raising his voice in front of their son.
Oh yeah, Cruz.
He sounded genuinely remorseful about that part.
That's good, at least.
Yeah. And he said that Brittany called his manager his publicist and even producer Alex Baskin.
Whoa, really?
Yep. And he thinks that's what really made him go to rehab.
Because he was afraid of losing his job?
He said his job was at risk, and that was a driving force for him getting help.
That's a pretty big admission.
It is. Although he did deny failing a drug test at another facility.
Okay.
And then he also admitted to messaging other women
To cheat on Brittany.
to get back at her for her supposed fling.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah. And he even used a manipulation tactic involving Kristen Dowd's fiance.
What? How?
He didn't go into detail, but it sounds messy.
It really does.
And Brittany's response to all this.
What did she say?
Well, Jack said, he's only here right now because of my son.
Meaning?
That he only got help because of Cruz.
Oh, wow.
And Brittany replied on Instagram with a bunch of laughing emojis and a coffin emoji.
Oh, burn.
Right. I think she's making it clear that she doesn't believe him.
Makes sense. Okay, let's move on to RHONJ now.
Yes, Teresa Giudice has a lot to say.
About what?
Well, about those recent reports that her husband, Luis, has some major tax problems.
Oh, right, the tax liens.
Yeah. But Teresa's defending him, saying he's actually really good with money.
How so?
She pointed out that he took his company public right before they met.
Okay.
And she even said a psychic predicted it, and that her mom wanted her to be with a successful businessman.
So she's blaming it all on her family and Margaret.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
She thinks they're the ones who've given Luis a bad reputation.
By talking to people from his past?
Exactly.
Well, that is a very Teresa thing to do.
It is. She also said that her daughters love Luis and even prefer him over their dad, Joe.
Wow, that's a big statement.
Right. And she addressed why Luis often looks red on the show.
Oh, people have been commenting on that.
Yeah, and she said it's because he's Spanish and Hispanic and has darker skin.
Interesting.
And she insists that they're doing great financially and that Luis has a good heart.
So she's not worried at all about those tax lands.
Nope. She also really wants RHONJ to come back for another season.
She said she's not done yet.
Exactly. But get this. She also admitted that she kind of regrets doing the show in the first place.
Well, yeah, it's definitely caused her a lot of drama.
It really has. And she also talked about her daughters a bit.
Oh, yeah, what about them?
Well, Gabrielle likes to stay out of the spotlight.
Makes sense.
But she's encouraging Audriana to do more on TikTok.
Interesting.
And just for fun, she said her celebrity hall pass is Michelle Maroney.
Oh, good choice.
Right. And finally, she's made peace with that infamous table flip moment.
I mean, that's iconic.
It really is. She said at first she didn't like how mean she looked, but now she's embraced it.
As she should.
So there you have it.
Yeah.
Lots of drama, lots of gossip, and lots to unpack.
My head is spinning.
Mine too.
Yeah.
It's amazing how all these stories connect.
Right, from Denise and Lisa's feud, to Jackson Brittany's messy split, to Teresa defending Lewis.
It's a reminder that these are real people with real lives.
And we're just getting a glimpse into all the craziness.
But that's what makes reality TV so fascinating, right?
It really is. Although it does make you think
About what?
how much of this is actually real and how much is just for the cameras.
That's a good question. I mean, they're always being filmed, and there's pressure to create drama.
Exactly. So how much of what we see is actually genuine?
And what does it say about us that we're so obsessed with watching it all unfold?
That's definitely something to think about.
It is. So while we wait for the next episode to drop, let's all ponder that question.
I think I will.
Me too.